Welcome to Relay Radio. I'm your host, Derek Dreyer. To my right is my co-host, Daniel Hong.
Hello.
We'll be lighting the torch of knowledge to bring you exhilarating insights, expert tips, and inspiring stories.
Immerse yourself in the world of business, entrepreneurship, and life as we pass the baton of knowledge, empowering you to sprint towards greatness. Today's guest has built one of the most recognized car channels on YouTube.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah. From this is in Austin's words. From reviews of the newest Porsche to his MacBook killer PC build.
Sick.
MacBook killer PC. He has built a loyal community around him. Cars aren't his only passion. He is a master software developer as well. Owner of Enzo Chemicals and founder of Fourth Phase IO. He is Joe. Is your middle name Andrew?
Benedettini.
Not Andrew.
Fuck. Joseph Benedettini.
Did he put Andrew in there?
Dude,
I did.
Oh, all
I'm not
right.
gonna lie, you butchered the fuck out of that.
Yeah, dude. I like the writing though. I'm like, can I get him to write my LinkedIn profile for me?
No, he's good, dude.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We usually hype people up, you know?
Yeah.
So explain the structure of a podcast. It's set up like a relay race with different legs. So we'll do a warm-up. The warm-up is like trivia questions. We'll fire a bunch at you, answer them best. Then we'll jump in first leg, which will be we'll talk about personal life. Second leg, we'll talk about social media. Third leg, we'll talk about business. And fourth leg, to wrap it up, we will just talk about like your goals in retrospect. So the point of our podcast is really to interview our guests and highlight their stories, whether they're entrepreneurs or just their stories in life. So that's really what we're all about.
All right.
Let's see if you're
All right.
smart because you claim to be smart.
Nah.
All right,
I'm on trivia stuff.
yeah,
If it's animals, I'm good.
30 seconds.
Yeah, all right.
30 seconds. I'm going to ask you some trivia questions.
All right.
All right, who is on the quarter?
George Washington.
What was the Porsche 911 originally called?
Like a 993. No? I don't know.
That's a chassis, boy.
How many years is a bicentennial?
Centennial be 50?
What was the OG color of all Ferraris?
Red.
What is the largest U.S. state?
Alaska.
You can catch me, but I can never be thrown. What am I?
Fuck if I know. Can I curse on this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Whatever.
Time.
We
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
It's time?
Yeah.
All right, you got Washington.
Yeah.
It was Porsche 901.
Ah.
200 years.
It's two?
You got red
Oh.
Buy like two.
and Alaska.
See, I divided.
got-
I was like,
you went the
buy.
opposite. You went the opposite. Yeah.
You got 3 right, which is
Oh wow, you're the leader.
yeah.
Am I really?
Everybody's
Oh, shit.
only gotten 1.
Let's go.
Fucking Joe Benedettini.
Wait, do
go.
you know this question? This is a question we've asked everybody. What month has 28 days?
It's a trick question. It's all of them.
Damn. All right,
that-
he got
Is
it.
that
Should ask
yeah?
him.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, me and Max were working out after his podcast, and he was like, "They asked me a dumb fucking question about months." And I was like, "All right, cool." Yeah, I cheated.
It is
Prepared-
all of them.
Be prepared for the dumb ones.
Yeah.
The trick one we asked you can catch me, but I can never be thrown is a cold.
Oh,
Ah.
damn, I didn't know that.
All right.
That's pretty funny.
That's trick questions are hard on the spot like that.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Damn, you got 3. That's a damn. All right.
go.
Shit.
All right, so let's jump in the first leg. Get to know you a little bit deeper, personal.
Yeah.
So, who is Joe Benedettini?
What's your middle name? What's your middle name?
Austin, spelled with an E.
Oh shit, Austin.
Austin.
Joseph. Who is Joseph Austin Benedettini?
I mean, I tell people that I am a software developer. I never actually bring up the social media side of it just because I hate social media. So if I met you and you're like, "What do you do?" I'd be like, "I'm a software engineer, software developer."
So,
That's pretty much it. I mean, that's
diving deep on that.
Yeah.
You, this is just obviously we've known each other for
Yeah.
a while.
Quite a while.
You didn't go to school to become a software developer. You kind of self-taught. Like
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's actually why I'm reserved about saying like because like I would say on a day-to-day basis I am a software engineer 100%, but I hate saying the word engineer because like if you don't have a degree people freak out.
Yeah.
So like technically speaking I'm a software developer. No, I've always been into like tech and cameras and computers and all that shit. I always wanted to do like animation, like Pixar style animation when I was little. So I used to work with this like program called 3ds Max, and in there they had Max script. So I had to learn that to be able to do some of like the 3D stuff, and that kind of led me down this path of like building websites and stuff. I worked at a used car dealership for a while, and that guy made me like their website manager, but I had no clue what I was doing. I was just trying to figure it out as we went. And then that just kept like some other guy wanted something done. And then I met Christian. He wanted Alphalete work. And then it just kept going and going.
That was like a blessing in disguise then.
Pretty much. Yeah. I never intended to like full time make money doing software. It just kind of kept evolving.
At what age did you kind of start, picking up tech and getting into that type of stuff?
So actually kind of late. So we grew up kind of in like the country. So we had dial-up internet until I was like 14, 15. So I didn't get like my first fast computer until I was like 15. Mm-hmm. And I think because I didn't have it for so long, when I got it, I was like, holy shit, like now this is awesome. So I think it just kind of like expedited the whole process. But yeah, it wasn't until I was like 15, 16 that I even had like my first console was a 360, which I feel like is late in life. Everyone else had like PlayStation. Yeah, we didn't have any. I mean, there's no internet.
What was after dial-up? Was it DSL?
Broadband.
And then DSL?
Like T1. I remember that being a thing for a while. And we had dial-up until I was like
dial-up.
We had dial-up too late. Like it was not normal. Yeah.
Get off the phone, Mom.
Yeah, like I remember
like
being
in the 90s for me.
Oh yeah.
I remember being in middle school and teachers giving us like online, like the internet was already a thing and we just didn't have. Like I was the kid in class.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have internet, ma'am.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
talking
like no.
We were talking about it yesterday because we had a podcast yesterday. Millennials is the coolest generation.
Is that us?
Yeah, that's us. I feel like
What's the cutoff?
What year were you born?
94.
I
You're
feel like 10 years. So if you're like 35 to like 25, that's a good millennial.
It actually starts in like 80 something and goes to
85?
maybe 2000, maybe something. I don't remember. But
yeah. So like we saw the transition of like, because I grew up with Diablo 2.
Yeah.
Diablo 2. So like dial up, and it was like I had a Hewlett Packard.
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah.
And it was like, do, like it was that fucking sound. You had to sit there and wait. And now we have like crazy, obviously AI, which you probably use.
Dude, we grew up before multiplayer gaming was a thing.
we grew up.
That's
We had
true.
single player games. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no Diablo didn't have an online
Yeah,
mode.
the
You
secret
couldn't play
account level,
with
you're
it was
playing
like
it by
cell phones were barely
No,
becoming
we had flip
popular.
phones. I remember
Text messaging was
my
big, so
first phone. Well, not my first phone, but one of my first phones was a Motorola Razr, a flip phone.
Oh,
I had one of those for like 5 years.
Mine was a
if you
sliver.
had a Razor, you were bad.
Oh no! If you had a Sidekick, you were
Sidekick,
rich,
too,
dude.
yeah.
The kid with the Sidekick at school was like, holy
It's
shit!
like Razor, and then the Sidekick was like.
I
I
had
remember all that.
the sliver with 100 iPhone songs, 100 iTunes songs. I remember.
Sliver.
It's like the other thing of like the Razor, but it wasn't Slide. It was from Motorola too.
Yeah.
Okay, so your software stuff kind of like branched into like your love for cars. Like, how did that ever start? Because your
No,
first car
flip
was
it.
okay. So it was
I've been into cars
first.
forever. Yeah.
Okay, so your first car was a black Tahoe.
Well, what got you into cars?
Yeah.
What got
I mean, I grew up kind of, like I said, we're kind of in the country. My mom's side of the family is kind of country. My dad's always been into cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So we always had dirt bikes and four wheelers and side by sides. So I think it wasn't even about cars. It was just anything with a motor. Used to go to like, I don't think we ever went to NASCAR. We used to go like drag races with my uncle and stuff.
Damn, that's pretty white.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, definitely a white man sport.
I can relate.
We
I
yeah.
grew up like my uncle had a mechanic shop, and like they had all these like different types of like go karts and shit, and we
Yeah.
just go like off road and
That was the whole
Trans
thing.
Ams and shit.
Yeah, so I think I was just like all about anything with an engine.
Yeah.
Need for Speed nonstop, like that kind of. So that I think that fueled.
Yeah.
Like to a weird point though, to a point where like I would research this shit. Like I could tell you like the engine size in every car and stuff when I was
Yeah.
like 15, 14, and people are like, "Why the fuck do you know this?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I remember like when I would always take a shit on my dad's toilet because he had the best like DuPont registry magazines.
Yeah, dude, I had DuPont every month.
That and obviously Playboy, but
Yeah.
it was like
At the
be-
shitter?
Yeah, dude.
That's a wild combo.
Dude, my mom threw all of them away when we
choose
moved
your
houses.
poison.
Yeah.
It was like mixed though, so you had to like look on the side profile that said
My
the,
God.
Yeah, but anyways, okay, so your love for cars kind of, grew. So how did that kind of like, okay, so they're kind of two polar opposites. One is like software, and one is like
Mechanical,
auto,
yeah,
like
like
mechanical stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what did you do with cars? You were a used
I
car
mean,
salesman, and then
Yeah. So I was a used car salesman for like 2 years. I sucked. I didn't make any money doing that. I was a terrible salesman.
it was in Motorworks.
Yeah. A little
yeah.
shop here in Houston. I just couldn't do it. Like that's such a. I mean, no offense to anyone
It's
that
slimy.
does that. Yeah, it's a slimy business. Like, 'cause I know what's wrong with this car. I know this car's been fucked, but I'm going to tell you how great it is, and you're going to take it home, and now it's your problem. That was a hard thing for me to do. Like, I couldn't. I actually got in trouble because people would be like, "Oh, I like this." I'm like, "Nah, the transmission's about to go out. Like, maybe look at this one over here." And the owner would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, Joe?" And I'm just like,
Brutally honest.
I mean,
Yeah.
I personally went through that. I like the first work vehicle I bought for like one of my businesses was like those Mercedes Sprinters.
Yeah.
And I bought it from Texas Direct Auto. 6 days later, the transmission blew out.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't buy it back from me.
No, they don't do shit.
"Oh, you gotta just sell it back to us for under what you bought it for." I was like,
well, then you got the interest rate. A lot of people don't know this, but like when you buy cars, the interest rate, they pad it.
yeah.
So like you might have gotten a
100%.
4.1 from Chase, but I'm going to tell you got a 6, and now I'm going to take that 2%. Like they can pad the shit out of that.
Yeah.
It's a really scammy and then
Yeah.
we got to sell you the extended warranty that doesn't actually cover shit. But
Yeah.
you think it does, so you're going to give us some. It's a whole thing.
You're the one who actually taught me about like negotiating for cars, because I remember you told me back in the day about like the auction price, everything. I think it was like Eagle One or something like that, like the MMR.
OVE and MMR.
Yeah, you were teaching me about like MMR.
Oh, bro, I'm a nightmare for a salesman at this point, just because like I had access to all those tools, and I still do because they never change their password. So like to this day, I can log into all the auctions and stuff. So like, I'll walk into a dealership like, no, we can't go any lower than this. I'm like, well, I know exactly what you paid for it on this date, and they'll be like, how the fuck did you get that info? And it's like, well, it's all public. Who are you? Pretty much, yeah. They get real upset.
You two are probably out of all my friends, you two are the ones who have gone through the most fucking cars.
Yeah, I've gone through.
Shawley's catching us.
Shawley too, yeah.
Christian had a fucking run there for a minute too. There was a while where Christian was like every 2 months just like swapping them
but
out.
Daniel for a while was like, I think it was like every 3 or 4 months he had a
me
new
and him
car,
back in the
like,
OG Alpha League gym. Every other week, one of us had a new car. It was like, oh, you got this, I got this, you got this, I got this.
Every 3 months, I had a new car. I think like the 2-year time frame, I had like 6 cars. It was like pretty wild.
Yeah, just like what the fuck?
It was, bro. It was him. It was like,
I've been chilling recently. I've been pretty good.
bro, your cars are. I mean, how can you go further? Your cars are like
So I've had
300,000.
I'm saying I've done pretty well. Like after I buy the Raptor tomorrow, I've had 5 cars this year.
Jesus Christ! But then you're
still rocking my 2016
I'm chilling out a
4Runner.
little bit now.
and we'll talk about that in the social media side because that it's everything to do with your social media. So talk to us a little bit about like your family upbringing.
I mean, pretty standard, I guess. I don't really know. Like I said,
Your dad, your Benedictine cabinetry is huge.
yeah. So he owns a big cabinet shop. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
You got a sister?
So he worked like nonstop. So I'll say like me and my dad really, even though we're like best friends now, we really didn't have any relationship until I was probably like 14.
And how'd that come? Like, how did you guys like start becoming best friends?
I mean, now they got a divorce. And at the time, I think like I'm a guy, I want to hang out with the guys. So it just came down to like, hey, who do you want to live with? And I'm like, I'll go live with Dad, I guess.
Yeah.
So then I ended up living with him. I don't think he had any clue what the fuck he was doing. We were eating like beans and weenies every night and shit, like Chef Boyardee on a nightly basis.
Sounds like a dad.
Yeah. But then we started hanging out a whole lot, and then it was just like, I guess that was kind of the
Yeah. And now you guys are like best friends and
100%.
your love for cars is
And I think he's able to kind of relax a little bit more now. I think at the time when I was growing up, his company didn't really get successful until the last like 10 years.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I mean, there was a while there where like he just didn't come home. He was just working nonstop.
It's in grind mode.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was a while there where like we didn't have any money. I mean, like the house I grew up in is smaller than the apartment I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And there were 4 of us living in a probably 1,700 square foot house.
Yeah.
Like not a whole lot of luxury. and
Yeah,
stuff,
we were saying that yesterday's podcast too. Like millennials, our parents didn't have a work-life balance. They did the best they could to come home when they could to like raise the kids, but most of the time they were like 2 jobs and things like that. And that's why millennials know so much between like work-life balance, like being able to balance the two. And we work smart and hard at the same time because we took the principles of the good from our parents, translated to our side, and then like, you know, more learning lessons that we've accrued through the years too. So it's like with you right now, like what do you normally do on a daily basis? Because
I've been floating, man. So for a while there, I was really heavy on social media. Like for a while, I was doing at least 1 video a week. That was when I started.
I don't think that ever.
Yeah, no. That was when I like started and got that first 100,000 subs or whatever. I was like really, Then recently, I'm like, now I'm all about the software side of it. I'm just like whatever I guess is more interesting to me, which for right now is the software side. But my dad is getting older, and he's really adamant about me coming and kind of stepping up in the cabinet shop, which I don't know if it's what I want to do yet, but I'm starting to fall into that. Like unintentionally, I'm like doing a lot of software stuff for him, and then I'm training people, and then they're asking me questions, and I'm there on a daily basis. So now it's getting to the point where like whether I like it or not, I got like 30 people over there calling me every day to figure out how to do different shit. So at the moment, that's pretty much 24/7. That's why I'm not making videos right now. Like I'm in Rosenberg all fucking day.
Joe, the owner of a cabinet company.
I don't think I'll ever want to be the owner of it.
Who
But
would
like,
have seen that?
yeah.
I think that's a good transition into social media now. So talk to us a little bit about that. Like, how'd you get into it? Like,
So I've always been, like I said, I wanted to do like animation and stuff when I was a kid. So I've always been into like cameras and stuff. We used to make like our own little like childhood jackass video. Eventually I'm gonna make a video on my channel where I show all these like, cause I have some cringy ass videos of us like at 6 years old with like camcorder. So then in high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet. And a friend of mine named Brett was starting to do like wedding photography.
That's such a white name, by the way.
Yeah.
Brett.
Shout out Brett.
Jesus.
He was starting to do wedding photography, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you come help me?" So I went with him, and we did like a shoot and made like a couple $100. And then they asked, "Hey, do y'all do video?" And I'm like, "Okay." So we started doing video, and we started doing wedding videos, and we started doing like corporate videos for companies and stuff. And then I met Christian, and I didn't even know at the time. I didn't know you could make money on YouTube. Like they told me, "Oh, this guy's really rich off YouTube." And I'm like, "What the fuck does that even mean?" I shot probably like 5 or 6 videos for Christian. We just kind of became like best friends, and then I think the second time I shot a video for Christian is when I met Derek. Actually,
Yeah.
and then I started doing the website stuff for Alphalete, and then that kind of took me out of doing the video side of it. But I still knew how to edit. I knew how to, like, not to like give myself a big head here, but I'm like, I was doing like edits and shit before anybody else was doing. Like now it's so easy, but like I was doing car edits at Coffee and Cars when I was like 14 years old, and they were like kind of cool videos.
You and Brett?
Yeah, me and Brett. So
Joe and Brett.
then it was like, I know how to make edits. I know how to film.
Yeah.
Why not start my own YouTube channel? And that's where the thing came from. And then that gave me at least some kind of offset for the cars. I could justify the car a little bit more. Because like cars are depreciated. Like you're losing money on 90% of the cars I buy. I lose fucking car. Or lose money. But at least with the YouTube videos, I can kind of offset that. I can kind of justify a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm going to lose $5,000 in depreciation, but if I make 3 videos on the TRX, I'm making more than I'm losing. So now it's
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can buy a car every 3 months.
Pretty much, yeah. But now the problem is I'm buying cars and I'm not making videos. So my last 4 videos, I've done 1 video, sold the car. 1 video, sold the car. Like my last 4 videos are I bought.
But then you didn't lose too much money because the car.
Oh, dude, the Tesla fucked.
Oh yeah, fuck the Tesla.
Tesla hurt.
Teslas are garbage. Teslas are garbage.
I bought that Tesla for $149,000.
Look like a regular Model S, bro.
Tesla dropped the price of the Plaid down to like 110 right after I bought it. I think I traded it in for like 105, like a month later.
Oh my
I think I lost like $35,000 in a month.
Yeah, bro, that car was garbage.
That was disgusting.
I would. Yeah. So you never really liked social media because you kind of like to be behind the scenes, but like I feel like because we all like started in Alphalete in like the OG days, all of us kind of had like a kickstart to kind of do it all. Like, how did you build your audience with like your social media? Because you're obviously in cars, and that was nothing.
Yeah,
like had to do with anything.
Yeah, and you're like in a fitness realm.
Yeah, like all right, one, I'm a lazy fuck. I don't want to do fitness. I knew I didn't want to do fitness.
Yeah, you've been trying to bench 225 for 10 for like 7 years.
No, dude.
You got it?
Yeah, I hit 285
last week.
Oh, 285.
I can do 265 for like 3 right now.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I know. I can do 5x5 at 225.
You hit your 10-year goal, bro.
Yeah, it only took like 300 milligrams of testosterone every week, but now I can do it.
Wait, you're on test?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but now I can lift heavy, so it worked out. Yeah.
Damn, Joe's running a cycle.
Oh shit.
Never thought I'd
like
see
a
the day.
legit,
Watch out, ladies.
He's like, right after he says I'm a lazy piece of shit and I hate working out.
He's on gear.
Yeah, I'm on test. At least he's open about it.
So I didn't. Yeah.
Props to you.
I don't like compete in anything, so I feel like
I'm gonna take TRT too.
It's great, dude.
I'm about to.
I highly recommend it.
You just get rock hard.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right.
So David talked me into it, and then that's where like I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
And honestly, like so much better.
Dude, we should take TRT.
Probably have low T, bro. We're like in our
That's what I was.
Bro, I don't know.
So I'm not gonna like put anyone under the bus, but so I went into the clinic. We're getting off topic.
Tangent,
I went into the clinic, and they tested me. So the problem is too, like
This is getting personal again.
your average range is such a bullshit number because like it's like, oh, you should be average 350 to 800. It's like that's a massive fucking
Yeah.
So you could be at 351 and you don't qualify because you're totally normal, but like you're normal as the same guy as 800. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I went in, I didn't qualify. I was like 4 something. I was like, shit, I really want to get on it though. And the clinic lady was like, all right, look, like don't sleep, eat like shit, and come in tomorrow. I'm just like, okay. Did that, came in qualified, no problem. Which I'm like, it's probably pretty sketchy. They probably shouldn't be saying that, but I'm like, yeah. So I qualified, and then once you qualify once,
we'll get the name of the clinic.
Yeah. Once you qualify once, you're in. You're good at that point.
Did she have a crush on you? Because it seems like
No, I don't think so. I think they just want money.
Yeah.
The more people they can. Yeah.
So did she like?
Yeah, every week.
Oh.
Yeah, I go in, I get a shot every week, right in the ass. It's great.
So you like getting penetrated?
In the cheek. Yeah. Yeah.
In the back?
Yeah.
Super tangent.
All right, what were we talking about?
Social media.
Social media. So you like?
Oh, so I didn't want to do I didn't want to do fitness. Everyone around me is doing fitness.
Yeah, same.
I want to do cars. So I think I did have a little bit of a harder time. Like I saw like Shali and even like yourself and stuff. It was like because of that world, like you can get a following so fast in that. Where like the cars, it was like fuck, like no one's really.
Yeah.
Christian would give me a shout out, and I'd get like 20 subscribers. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I think just the quality. Honestly, I didn't do anything special. I think it was just at the time there weren't a lot of people doing high quality car videos. Like at the time, it was like Shmi walking around with his camera, just like pointing it at cars. I think I was one of the first to like have edits and like cinematics and rollers and stuff. I guess that's kind of what did
The thing is like Shmi, Cars with Luke.
Cars with Luke's great. Me and him.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot.
TJ.
I always tell people he's like the
TJ, yeah.
Cars with Luke is like the European version of me. Like
Yeah.
our videos are very similar. We kind of like the same stuff. TJ's a different thing.
Yeah.
See, for me, I'm like, all right, I need to make the most cinematic video possible. I got to get the drones. I got to get the rollers and stuff. And then TJ will shoot a whole fucking video on his iPhone just walking around a Supra and 2 million views. And I'm like, God damn it,
TJ,
this is bullshit.
Yeah, TJ was the vlogger of that world.
Pretty much. Same with like Shmi. Like I'm like, I have nothing against Shmi. Seems like an awesome guy. But like I can't watch this. I get so bored. Like after 2 minutes, I'm like, I can't watch this guy.
Yeah. Cars with Luke is really good.
But then again, Cars with Luke.
Super Cars with London was really good.
Some will.
Yeah.
Social media is weird right now too. So there's these guys, Triple F Collection, have the sickest car collection. They're in Ohio. They have fucking one of everything you can think of: Bugattis, Paganis, Koenigsegg, everything. They just don't get views. They pay videographers. They have sick videos. They'll drag race a Bugatti and a Koenigsegg with like 8K camera setups and everything, and they'll get like 20,000 views. And I'm like, that should show you that like it's not about what car you have, and it's not about the production value. It's literally just if you can get out there or not. Yeah,
It's about the person. I think
they're
it's
even cool people. I don't understand.
I think it's the humanizing it, right? Like with the vlog, it's like
yeah.
it's more personal, and I think that's what people kind of are drawn to with social media.
Social media is just a wild.
Yeah.
Like,
I've never liked it. I mean,
Like
yeah,
Manny Koshman came out of nowhere. I mean, obviously he's super fucking wealthy. But yeah, super fucking wealthy. But like, you know, he's huge.
The hard part now is like when I started making videos, like there's a video I posted when the first Chiron here in Houston, I got to go like film it and show the inside and stuff.
It's the person that lives in the Woodlands or something?
I don't know. It was at the dealership. Like they called me and were like, hey, you want to come do a video? At the time, that video did really well. Nowadays, there's so much money and all these rich guys have bought their way into YouTube that it's like, it's not even clicked. Like now if you see like I jumped my Bugatti in a TRX, 5 years ago, it'd be like, oh, haha, clickbait. Now it's like, no, they're really jumping their fucking Bugattis and TRX.
Whistling Diesel, right?
That guy, well, I mean, he made himself. I'll let him pass. But you have guys like Manny Koshman that came in with millions of dollars that'll just pay for the ads and pay for the videographers and just buy their way into success in YouTube.
Yeah.
So it makes it real hard for someone that's like, you're really into cars and you drive a Honda Civic. Like, good fucking luck, dude.
Yeah. So your YouTube channel has over 100,000 subscribers?
I'm at like 170, I think, or something.
Wow.
But
holy shit.
I only made a video in the last 6 months. I made one video in the last 6 months.
I will say, like, your car videos, like the cinematics are really fucking good. They're really good.
It used to be.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But so over the course of your entire YouTube channel, can you name all the cars you've had?
Yeah. So I think I'm doing a video with a company that makes posters, and that was what they wanted to do, was send me a poster of every car I've owned. Not even in YouTube, because a lot of people are like, oh, you got into cars for YouTube. I'm like, no, like I was buying and selling cars way before I even started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
No, not off the top of my head. I want to say it's at like 35, 40.
35 fucking cars that you've owned?
Yeah.
Bro.
Maybe it's like 30. There's a lot.
Me,
There's a couple.
3.
Yeah,
I saw something the other day. It was like the average human has 5 cars in their lifetime. And I'm like,
You've lived 7 lives right now.
Damn, I'm average.
Because I have a lot. You got to remember too. I have a lot. Like for a while there, I had a
average.
third car, and I rotated those for a while. So like I had the GT500 and the Spider. Those were just third cars that I only owned those cars for like 2 months at a time. So there's a while where I had like a car that I was cycling off to the side, but I still had the other two. So if I had every different car I've owned, I think it's like 30.
Holy fuck.
It's a lot. I don't even know them all. Like,
So you said it was kind of like slow for you when you first started your YouTube.
Yeah.
Like how long before you started gaining traction, or like what are some things that you tried
so
to do to
people
grow?
like to be mad about shit.
100%.
That's I mean, in social media, it's like nothing ever. If I was like, oh, my dog had a fun day at the park as the title of the video, no one gives a shit. But if like my dog almost died at the park, it'll get 1 million. You know, like people like the drama,
the negativity and drama.
Yeah. So I think the first video I made that like popped off was something about like I hate my BMW M4.
Oh,
and that video got like 1 million views, and I think that's where like I probably gained 30,000-40,000 subs out of that video alone. Especially because like that's such a like half of the world loves Mercedes, half loves BMW. So I have half the world's gonna. Same with politics. Like if you come out super right wing, you're gonna get a shitload of followers from there. If you come out super left, you're gonna get hate too.
Yeah.
But one side's gonna.
Left wing is definitely BMW. Right wing is definitely Mercedes. But anyways, that's another thing.
Anyways,
But
You drive a BMW.
I know, but I'm right wing. I don't fucking know.
so but yeah, I mean that was probably what did it for me was that first video kickstarted it, and then I had random ones that your CLA 45 video had like 600,000 views on it.
Yeah, that was popping.
I just had videos that would. I think that's what helped me a lot is I have videos that people are gonna look up for a long time. I think that's what people have a hard time with. They'll make a video like me and my wife's vacation day. No one gives a shit. After your initial subs see it, no one's looking it up.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, I review a CLA 45, is this the best daily driver? For the next 10 years, anyone that's looking at buying a CLA 45 is going to type in CLA 45, see my video, click it, and watch it.
Yeah, we're talking about that because
I think that's like
there was a point where all your cars were so unattainable. You're like, maybe I should pivot to like more affordable cars.
They
so
do
people
better
can
on
see it.
yeah,
They do better.
Like CLA killed it.
Yeah,
but I think that's where I do well, where Max is like, how do you get more? Like, I get more views per video than Max does. I don't release a lot of videos, but I'm
you have a
averaging like
relatable one.
yeah, I'm averaging I think right now like 150,000 views every video.
Yeah.
But it's because they're getting views the whole time. Where like Max's videos get views for 2 days, and then whatever number it's at, that's it. My videos will just slowly keep going.
You also do tech review videos, right? Like how do those do?
When I do them really, really well. Yeah. So I had this weird thing for a while. I was like, I can't do tech on my channel because mine's cars. So I was going to start a separate channel, and I did that. And that channel actually, I think it already has like 10,000 subs or something. But now I'm like, I don't have time to do 2 channels, so I'm going to bring it back. When I've done tech videos, they do like 500,000. I think one has like 700,000. Like the tech videos kill.
So it's almost just like the style, right? Like the review style videos probably typically do.
Yeah, I think if you can give someone knowledge,
Right.
Or like validate a purchase. Like if you review a camera or something, that's going to be easier for you to get that initial following because no one's going to type in like Derek's camera review, but they will type in like Sony A7 IV review. And then if you happen to be in that list, now you're going to kind of start leveling up.
Yeah, so that was one of my questions. Like, did you have any social media, or do you have any social media growth strategies aside from those titles and things? But like, what did you do other than that?
I mean, no, that was
You just
Keywords,
titles,
titles.
right?
keywords and I mean, you didn't have to when we were getting there. I think now I have a following where now it's like my last video was like I bought a BMW and it doesn't suck, and it did well. It's a terrible fucking title, but like
Yeah.
I can get away with it now.
Yeah.
I think if you're just starting out, like it's got to be drama or you got to collab. I think the collabs are probably the biggest thing right now. Is like getting someone that already has a following to work with you, which is harder probably now than ever before. I feel like back in the day, Christian had like 500,000 subs, and he'd like give me a shout out. Nowadays, like no one's giving you a fucking shout out.
Yeah.
Now they're like, all right, give me 10 grand, I'll give you.
Well,
a
I think people were more willing to like go and travel and work with other
Collaborate and
people,
shit.
and like
Yeah.
that was like in the beginning stages of social media. Everybody was like so excited about doing that.
That's
Now it's
before
like
you were getting offers of
Right.
20 grand to eat Stouffer's mac
Yeah.
and cheese. Like now it's like people are making so much money that they think they're like gods. Now it's
Right.
like, oh, you want my shout out? Like you got to fly to me, you got to pay me. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not.
there's
gonna
a lot more entitlement now.
I was
Yeah,
listening
100%.
on social media. Aiden Ross makes $4 million a month.
I believe it.
That dude does nothing.
Bro, you know what I want to know? I thought about asking Hayden, but I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to call him out, but I'm like, I want to know how much Alani paid Kim.
Oh, probably 4 to 5 million.
I bet there's a flat, and I bet there's
Yeah.
a percentage too. That was
They probably
yeah.
made
I saw that and I'm like-
about 20+ million.
Yeah,
from
that,
that.
that
I
was
was curious
historical.
on that
I mean,
one.
they're
That is wild.
They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and then it's like, that's why I feel like right now, fitness is gaining so much traction because fitness is always going to be a big thing, and because we're in fitness or you're surrounded by fitness individuals, it seems effortless to us. Like, oh, how to bench 225? That's fucking easy for you, but to someone like, let's just say Kim K, who hires these celebrity trainers that don't know shit about it, it makes it almost like, damn, that's crazy, you know? So going into the fitness space where they're like, okay, well, what is a company right now that is run by influencers that are fucking big, that's not bought out by Monster or like fucking Bang or something like that?
Red Bull.
Red Bull is for people with ED.
I have lots of.
That's why he's on test.
I can get a counter it, dude.
Proves my point.
Anyways,
so with social media, like, what is your platform that you always go to?
I don't never had a TikTok.
Okay.
I don't want to do a thread thing. I don't understand threads. Doesn't make fucking sense to me. I'm
Threads is dying already,
Twitter.
bro.
Is it?
Yeah, it's kind of lame
Dying.
already.
It's dead.
I always wanted to do Twitter. I just never understood. Like, I never understood what the fuck I'm supposed to do on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
know-
saw a dog
Just post
yesterday.
thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
I'm like-
why? You know why Twitter is so much more powerful than Threads is because Twitter has become over the years a real life like news. Like that's where you
Yeah.
get the uncensored news, and obviously now that Elon owns it, it's probably even better now.
Yeah.
But in the sense of like Threads, it's people on IG trying to do Twitter, and it doesn't convert well.
Maybe.
There's
I
only
didn't
two
like-
breeds of people.
I
Like
didn't like on Twitter. Like, if I follow you and only you, I'm gonna see other shit in my feed. But then there's a For You page.
Yeah.
And the shit I'm gonna see in my feed is at least somewhat. It's politics. It's war. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Threads was like, I think I followed TJ Hunt because he followed me. So I'm like, all right, I'll follow him. That's the only person I follow. But when
Yeah.
I open Threads, it's fucking nothing but just like
Random
bullshit.
people.
It's like
They're
not
trying
even
to
stuff I
figure-
care about.
Yeah,
It's
I don't.
Like,
I don't
trying to
see
figure out the algorithm.
anybody that I follow.
there should be a For You page, and then if you're gonna feed me shit, it should be like stuff that's at least relevant to me. Like, I don't need to see
Yeah.
some girl dancing in Walmart. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I think
Like,
that's what they're trying to do is like they're trying to figure out the algorithm. But like with Threads, the culture is so different because they're like, it's just honestly, it's just a plug-in of Instagram, and they're like, all right, well, let me give you all your followers so you have this gratification and you want to use it, but it's actually not well ran because like witty people, because like you still have to abide by Instagram's community guidelines.
I was gonna say you don't.
Yeah,
I've
with
noticed-
Threads you do, but like with Twitter you don't.
Have y'all noticed on Instagram recently that like shit's getting rough?
They're just selling pussy. Yes.
Like, well, no, like I'm seeing naked chicks. I'm seeing people
Yeah.
die
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah,
Like, there's videos of people
yeah,
getting
yeah.
shot and shit on Instagram. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
seeing
crazy.
some wild ass shit on
but,
Instagram
like-
recently, and like bullying. This
Yeah.
one I'm all for. Bullying for a while was like, don't bully. That shit's coming back now. Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
see crazy ass bully shit on fucking,
Yeah.
and like I'm dying laughing. Like the comments are.
Yeah.
I'll show you one after this. Like I was crying laughing last night. I feel like
Twitter-
Instagram's not censoring shit anymore. They're just like,
No, so I think they're censoring like when you're trying to question the matrix. But with Twitter, you know, it's like fucking free for all. Like
Yeah.
they're showing all this shit in live time. You know, the Instagram honestly is just probably poisoning you with shit that like makes you like it's not smart. You know, like selling pussy or like whacking,
It is,
whacking
I mean,
a bitch in the face.
I will
like-
say it was wild during the 19 days that like I would see someone that would like say like, oh, I'm not vaxxed, and they would get blocked for something,
Oh,
and at
yeah,
the same time I would see like a vagina in my face, and like,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
no
You're
problem here, but this is,
questioning
like-
the matrix.
yeah, that was a wild
then
time
you
to be
can
alive.
you get blocked. Yeah, if you're talking about
Yeah.
like the word, if you just said the word COVID, like for a while it was like you couldn't say the word COVID on YouTube, right? You
Anywhere.
get blocked.
Well, you couldn't.
you could sell
YouTube
your
just
pussy on
reversed
the-
recently, but YouTube said
Yeah,
you
it's
weren't
wild.
allowed to talk about the 19 election
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then they
yeah.
recently said, okay, now you're allowed. 4 years
January
later, they were
6th.
like, okay, you can talk about it.
the fucking the riot, the
just,
January
like,
6th
wild.
insurrection or whatever. Yeah, it was pretty.
It was crazy to see like a platform that is probably the most consumed. I think YouTube's probably time wise is probably the most consumed platform there is. Come out and say like you can't talk about this date.
Yeah,
Like imagine they're like you can no longer talk about World War II. People are like what the fuck? Like why not?
Yeah.
It was wild. They're like you can't talk about the 2019 election.
Yeah.
Just don't even think about it. It's
Yeah.
like what do you mean don't? Like
you know,
wild.
like with Twitter, obviously there's the Durham report. There's the Twitter files, like all that
get
shit.
canceled, dude.
I know,
of
but
this.
we're not going. We won't go into those
Yeah.
the, like in depths of it. Maybe episode 2.
We're just talking about social media.
Yeah, but like with social media, like with
Please stop.
with Instagram, like you would never have anyone talk about the Durham report or like
Or you just wouldn't see it.
or the Twitter files. Yeah, you wouldn't see it. They would just like that. And I mean, there's already proof that they censored shit.
yeah.
But anyways, like with social media, you don't really consume content. It seems like, except for YouTube.
For me,
Yeah.
I mean, I like YouTube videos. I watch a lot of tech reviews on YouTube. I love always having like the newest camera or drone or something. So I typically am always watching like tech shit or cars on YouTube.
Did you buy the Apple
No,
thing?
you can't buy it yet. I will buy one though, 100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, only because like I can develop for it. So like I don't
Oh,
know what the
what?
potential. Yeah, anyone. I mean, they open up the SDK. So if you have a laptop like a MacBook, you can make apps for that thing.
What?
Yeah. You can already do it. If you have a developer license, I can emulate what it looks like on my computer, so I can like see what it's gonna look
Bro,
like.
I'd be very curious how you do that. That's fucking
It just
wild.
gave me
pretty
you
dope.
gave me an idea, and I don't want to talk about it on this podcast. So we're gonna talk
VR
about it after.
porn.
Yes.
That'll be the first thing that hits, dude. Porn always leads every industry. Like every decision,
Really?
every time.
That's wild.
100%.
dude.
It's a multi-billion. It might be $1 trillion industry. It's huge,
Yeah. Speaking of that, the Adam 22 situation. That's kind of
bro. I don't care how much money he made. That is wild,
Yeah, he made a bag.
Couldn't be me.
bro. Imagine your girl telling not only she did it, but then telling you he was better than you.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Really?
She literally told him on camera that.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm like, that is some wild shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what that number is, but like, it's got to be big.
I feel like with every with
They have
every
a kid together, don't they?
Yeah, they have a kid. With every guest, we need to have like a part 2 where it's just like the shooting the shit. But yeah, with that bag, no amount of money is worth it, bro. 'Cause,
I was
like,
gonna
your
say
kid-
like
your
10
kids
mil
get
if
to
I
see
can split it and then I'm leaving your ass. I'm cool with that. But if you have a kid, you can't leave.
it. Can't you?
Leave it.
Yeah,
And they were like okay with it. They're like, yeah, my kid's gonna see it. So fucking what? I'm gonna tell.
they're
that
not.
My dad
They're
was
not.
a hoe.
They
And
want to make all the money, but they're not. Deep down, he's not cool with it.
every time they talk about it,
Or
There's
or
like
it
a
could be
level of-
marketing. I don't know.
Bros, everyone's saying it to him too. Like,
The Aiden-
everyone's bringing
Bro,
it up, dude.
who's that brown kid that was on the stream with Aiden Ross that was like trolling? You're fucking dumbass. Like the
I
skinny
don't
brown
know.
kid that always
I don't know.
trolls.
I saw the was it Kai?
Kai Cenat and
Yeah, I
and-
saw him
yeah.
talking to Adam 22. He's like, so can I hit next? I was like,
Yeah.
damn, dude. Like, this
Like
is
whenever y'all get
wild.
into an argument, come through.
Yeah,
Fucking
bro. Like,
hilarious.
that's wild.
Imagine people saying that to your wife now on a daily basis, and it's just like you just nonchalantly pass.
This
it.
is what
Bro,
social media is today.
The problem is like
Wild,
that
bro.
shit is normalizing it for everyone
Right,
else.
that's what I'm
It's like now
saying.
kids are seeing this,
This
and
is
then
what
when they
social-
grow up, they're like, "Oh, well, he did it, so why can't I go fuck some?"
I'm subscribed to
Yeah.
your mom's OnlyFans. Tell her to slide through my fucking
It's like,
house.
bro, we're
what
the next
social media's
generation.
coming
Let me see that pussy.
Fucked.
Oh my god.
Like
Yeah, it's fucking
It's
wild.
normalizing all this shit. It honestly, it is. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm like, I go on if I'm flying on an airplane, like my Instagram feed, not even because of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I feel embarrassed.
Like, yeah, like if I open my phone and I swipe, even people we know, people that we like grown up with in the Alpha Elite group,
that's
I'm like swiping and I'm like, oh, fucking asshole. And I'm like, now the person behind me is probably like, what the fuck's this guy doing on his phone?
yeah,
I'm like,
dude. Every time I'm at the gym or in a public setting, my brightness is all the way down.
bro, it's so
Can I get a
desensitizing.
protector,
now,
one of those
though.
protector.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like I know what
what if they're
everyone
like directly behind you?
It's like I know what every one of the girls in our group pretty much looks like naked, and that's a wild. It's not even. It doesn't even phase me anymore. I'm like, okay,
You want to drop some names?
nah, but I mean, you can
Trolling.
figure out who it is. I'm just saying that like it's
is
just
pretty wild.
Save that
It's
for
just
Max's
wild that like
podcast.
that's not even like a. I don't know. Like you used to go look for that stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's just normal. Like,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
see
it's-
like some girl that I've known for a long
Something
time,
more and more
half
normalized.
naked, and I'm like, oh okay. Like
You know what's crazy? Because like back in the day, all these girls are like criticizing like Playboy magazines and like all that type of shit. But honestly, if you go to Alpha Land, it's
Alphaland's wild, dude.
it's every girl.
Bro, I take my dad to Alphaland to work out sometimes, and like I'll see like there'll be like a girl with a camera set up, and I'm like, Dad, get the fuck out of the background.
He's
Like,
just
you're
like,
gonna end
just
up
walk
on.
away.
Steve's
Yeah.
just like,
You're gonna be
Not even because he's like looking, but I'm like, you're gonna glance, and she's gonna clip it and put it on her TikTok and be like,
Oh my
creepy
God,
old man, and I'm like,
you'll
bro,
be
you
5
can't.
million views.
Yeah, I'm like your wife's gonna leave you. Like you need to not be like you shouldn't. Alphaland's not a safe place
Having
for a
a
married man.
having a panic
yeah, bro.
attack.
I always have to look down when I
You
go
work
there.
out there, you're married. Shit,
Yeah.
both y'all are married.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all shouldn't go to Alphaland.
I don't.
I do every day.
Smart man.
Stay away from
I can
there.
attest. All right, so social media, YouTube, YouTube is amazing. I will say YouTube is probably a platform that will dominate the world like forever. Like it'll never go away unless there's like because there have been. I mean, Rumble, right? Rumble's trying to come up and they're trying
Yeah.
to essentially take away from it. Like whoever got canceled on YouTube, go to Rumble. Like
I mean, Rumble. I mean, they had it. YouTube's the only platform that I've seen that has created other multi-billion-dollar companies inside of it.
Yeah.
Like you can have a big Instagram and stuff, but like with YouTube, we have like people like MKHD and like the little scientist dudes with the slow mo stuff. Like you have people who are Linus Tech Tips. There's these companies that have hundreds of employees and stuff that have only been
Really?
built on YouTube. Yeah, like they have studios and like hundreds
Holy
and hundreds
shit.
of employees, but they're just a YouTube channel. But that channel is now a almost like it's like a Fox or a CNN. Like they're building their own network inside of YouTube as the platform.
I was listening to Alex Hormozy. He was talking about Mr. Beast, how like
Mr. Beast probably employs 50, 60 people.
$180 billion, bro.
Yeah.
Like someone offered him 10 billion and he said no. That's fucking
YouTube's turning into
wild.
like, it's no different than like DirecTV and being Fox. And now I have a channel on. I mean, like there's YouTube channels that have turned this into $1 billion thing just on their channel.
Yeah.
I think that's a good transition to the third leg, which is business. So how did you utilize social media to create your own business?
I mean, I really didn't. So the first couple projects I got doing code was I was at the car dealership, and then the girl I was dating's dad wanted his website redone, and then my dad wanted a website, and then my uncle wanted. It was like friends and family, and then that turned into like, all right, now a friend of ours wants his website, and it just kept branching.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Social
media.
media.
Charlie used you, Max.
Max.
Yeah, coding stuff was just kind of like word of mouth referral, like just
To start, and then when I started gaining a social following, I've really never been like, go hit up the fucking email to get work. It's just been like people that are like, oh, I saw your name at the bottom of the Alani website or something. Can we, get you to do art? So it was like, that was really just putting our name at the bottom of these other big websites.
Yeah.
so
I mean, a lot of these websites.
You built the Alani website?
No, we did a couple things for Alani. We didn't do the whole website. Because we did a bunch with Trey. So we did like 3D. We did some work with Prime. We did a bunch of stuff.
Damn.
And even like the Congo website has our name at the bottom, and that's the holding company.
Yeah.
So we'll have people to this day, they're like, oh, we saw you did Prime's website, which we didn't do Prime's website, but we did the parent
Congo,
company.
yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing that got us a lot of projects.
Holy
and then we
shit.
started getting reached out from just all these different companies. And then agencies that work with. So like we worked on the Boosted Board website. But not because Boosted hit us up. It was the company that Boosted was using hit us up to just do a couple things. So there's times where we'll be contracted just to do like one feature or like change this one thing. I'm really never like pushed on social media, like go sign up or get a new website.
Yeah, I've noticed that. That's what
really
we're going to
don't.
ask you too is like, how did you continuously grow fourth phase?
Really just word of mouth. So I hired a guy, then I hired another guy. Now we have I think at the moment there's like 3 of us doing different stuff. And then I just started turning stuff down because it just gets to the point where like I'd rather do like, I don't know, a good amount of money every month and not want to kill myself than like for a while there it was like every project we take on and then we're falling behind on this and this guy's mad about this and they want to change and it's just like I can't,
Too much to manage.
Has AI helped you like in your business with coding?
Yeah. So I use this thing called Copilot. So in your IDE, basically where you write code, there's now an AI bot that as you're typing, it always do like IntelliSense. So if you're trying to, your phone, you're typing fuck and it says duck.
Yeah.
There's always been that in
thought it
these
was just
IDEs
me.
and stuff.
I thought that was just
everybody. They're fixing it in the next iOS update.
Yeah.
They literally said, Apple came out and said we will no longer autocorrect duck
Yeah.
or fuck duck. Anyway.
Sometimes when I type like dick, it types in duck too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to fix that
I
one.
think you just fat fingered it.
I think. Really? Yeah, anyway. How often are you typing dick on your...
Yeah.
Not very often,
Yeah.
but it comes up sometimes.
So Copilot it uses AI to predict what you're going to do. So you can type at the top like, write me a function that converts the fraction into a decimal, and it will just automatically suggest the whole function, and you just hit tab and it throws it in there real quick. So that speeds us up. Yeah, that'll speed us up a lot. We also use AI for writing. So if y'all wanted us to build you a website, and we're building Relay a website, and you're like, all right, we're a company that does X, Y, and Z, I would just go to OpenAI and be like, write me an about section that's 4 paragraphs long about this company named Relay, and here's what they do, and it'll just spit out like a perfectly.
Yeah, I already did that.
We use
If you go to our website right now, all of it's written by
well, I think like Squarespace actually like now offers it in their thing.
Yeah.
So like when I think Shopify does too in the products now, you can just like use AI right there. You just type in some stuff and it'll just give you a product description.
All of the, I think like email marketing, text message marketing, you can just type in like what your sell is, and then it'll give you like a bunch of different.
And it's really fucking good too. Like it's I was always worried like, oh, it's gonna put some rant. Like I would say 9 times out of 10, if you give it enough info, like it will give you a perfectly written paragraph.
That's the thing. Some people I've heard people say, like, oh, it's not that great. It's like you have to be very specific in the way you ask it or give it a prompt for it to work.
You need to give enough info too. I think people will just be like, write me a description about our new T-shirt,
right.
and then it's like it doesn't know. But if you're like a T-shirt that has X weight and these stitches and this color, then it'll give you something that's
branding here.
This might be on a tangent, but it's related to AI. It's like I was listening to Elon Musk with Tucker Carlson.
Okay.
And Elon Musk was saying that AI, because it was built in Silicon Valley, its politics thinks in one way, and it's learning to lie, and it's learning to cover up a lot of different things, and it's so good that you can't differentiate the truth from what it is.
I mean,
So like with AI and how you integrate it into your business, like, do you see a point where it's going to be completely overran by AI, or will there always be some form of human, like,
with what we do,
yeah,
so it's going to eliminate the low level guys first. So there's, for a while there, I would have a coder at like $20 an hour or $40 an hour,
right.
doing the grunt work, doing the, hey, on this
$40
page.
an hour is grunt work?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. I'm
But-
trying to work for you, bro.
Like
that-
typing out the actual code.
Yeah, like,
all
oh, you know, we need a gallery on this page that's going to be 4 images wide. By like that stuff at this point, we don't need that guy anymore because AI can kind of build that out for us.
Damn, I was going to ask you for a job.
Yeah. So what they're adding now is like OpenAI can now run code, which is now we're getting real kind of in a scary world. So now you can not only say, hey, write me a Pac-Man emulator, but now OpenAI can go run it, and it can run multiple instances of itself until it can figure out which one works and run tests against itself. So now it can not only
What?
suggest the code to me, it can run it, make sure it works, show me that it's working, and then deliver.
So you're challenging the AI program against itself first to see.
Yeah, because
who's
the
right.
AI was
Wow,
very good at low level, like convert this to this function or get me the current US dollar to euro exchange rate. It's not good at like, hey, write me Instagram, like build me a new version of Instagram. You can't figure that shit out. But
GPT-5 is
now-
coming out.
Now that it can run code, now it's starting to be able to like actually build stuff and test it and run it. And then,
Jesus Christ, bro.
I mean, yeah, that shit gets scary.
And it's learning, right? Like continuously. The more people are
Yeah.
interacting with it, the more it's
So,
like
I mean, with the
learning.
politics thing, it's all language models. So, like, AI is only as smart as what's fed to it.
Yeah,
so, if
right.
AI isn't
Whatever-
fed stuff, like if I never fed AI anything about World War II, it's not going to be very smart when it comes to World War II. It's all about what you're feeding into that model. So, yes, I 100% can tell you that they are feeding in what they want to.
Yeah.
And they also have, like, the rules and regulations on what it can and can't talk about.
Do you feel like with AI, you've been able to like scale your business, or do you feel like it's relatively the same?
I don't
You
think
just
it hasn't
work less?
scaled at all for me. I think you could. I'm the first person to admit that, like, I could probably 100% say, fuck it, hire 10 devs, take on all the work I can get, and scale this thing up to a huge. It's just not something I really want to do.
Okay.
I think AI would make that a lot easier. Because even like task companies like ClickUp and stuff,
Yeah.
they use AI now, where I can tell ClickUp, like, all right, I need these 4 tasks done, and it will go decide who's going to do them and assign it and all that shit. So like, it's getting easier.
So that's like your full time thing right now.
Right now, I'm writing code every day for the cabinet shop, and then I'm also doing like 3 e-commerce companies.
Talk to us a little bit about the cabinet shop. So it's your dad's company.
Yeah.
When did he start it? Like how
So
did that?
he started it in '99,
Nice.
and then I have on and off done every fucking job over there. So I used to in high school, I was wrapping cabinets in the back. Like I've built cabinets, I've fucking done the drawer boxes, I've programmed the CNC machines, I've kind of done everything in there. When I started doing YouTube and stuff, and like the car dealership. So that kind of stemmed out of like, I didn't want to go to college. I fucking hated school. Like I hated school.
Same.
So that was really like, all right, if you don't want to go to or you don't want to go to college, get a job for my dad. But like not for me. Like I'm not just going to give you a fucking handout. Like you go get, and that's how I ended up working. I did a helicopter thing for a while, and then I did.
A helicopter thing.
It was long story short. Before drones were like good, a friend of ours, actually my girlfriend at the time's dad, owned a helicopter company or partnered in it, where we would fly a helicopter over top of pipelines with like it's called a Cineflex, like a $500,000 camera. They would fly over top and then overlay the GPS data, and then we'd sell it to the oil companies, like survey.
Shit.
Because there were no drones at the time. So they had fleets of 1,000 guys that would drive them to go document, okay, here's a picture of this and this and this.
Wow.
We offered a service for like 80 grand. We'll fly the whole pipeline and then sell you the DVDs. And I was the guy that had to edit all that footage and put the GPS data on top.
That's a
and
fucking
put
high
it on.
profile company. God damn.
Yeah, no,
bro.
I was making money. I was probably like 17, making like $2,500 a week, which was like,
wow.
yeah, and for a 17-year-old. I mean, it
Yeah.
only lasted for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And in that time, I bought a car.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm buying a GTR. And everyone's like, I don't think you should. I'm like, no, I'm doing it. And then we lost the, like, after like 5 months, basically the guy that owned the helicopter company was like, fuck y'all, I'm doing this on my own. And then it was a whole thing.
Damn.
So I ended up going to college. So I got that job, and I got the car dealership job, and then I started doing the code stuff. So it was like, and then it wasn't until like recently, I've done stuff for him on and off. Like we built him a shipping, like logistics app, because the woodworking industry is so fucking analog. Like there's just not a whole lot there. Like there's not a whole lot of automated machines. There's not a lot of like decent software. So we started building him custom apps, like all kinds of shit, iOS apps, and we built a couple like custom machines, like Arduino boards and shit, where we're like moving clamps and stuff based on different data. And then recently he was like, "Hey, I need a ERP system. Like we have an ERP system that sucks. It doesn't do what we need."
What's an ERP system?
Enterprise Resource Planner. So like Shopify for an e-commerce store, but think like for a manufacturing company.
Nice.
So telling you what raw materials to pull tomorrow to get this
Like
job done.
Oracle,
put this
right?
into
Like
this.
NetSuite.
Yeah, like NetSuite.
NetSuite.
Basically.
Okay.
So we ended up building a full, and it's taken 2 years of our time, but we ended up building a full custom ERP system for the cabinet shop.
That is really cool.
Now we have other cabinet shops that want to buy it because if you use this certain drafting software, we integrate directly with it.
Yeah, I think we eventually want to kind of do that with Relay, right? Build our own software for shipping.
3PL system, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll build it for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so over the last 2 years, we've been doing that. And then in that, I've just been getting more and more involved. So I'm training different people, and then they're coming to me for shit. And then this happened, and then I had to start learning the drafting software, and then I'm learning how to integrate with the CNCs because we output all of our own custom code to the CNCs and stuff. So now it's to the point where everyone's calling me for shit. Wow. So now it has literally just teed me up to be like, fuck it, I'll stop writing code for other people. I'll just come run this whole goddamn company.
Yeah, so you're just like subconsciously just becoming the CEO.
I think that was his plan. Because I was always like, no, I don't really want to. I was always like, I don't really have any desire to like come work at the cabinet shop full time. And now I'm like, all right, I kind of enjoy doing what I like
gigs here and there.
What age did you start working? Like, is it just something you kind of grew up in, like always being kind of in the shop with your dad or around?
Yeah, I mean that was like summers and stuff. I think my parents wanted me to do something, so it was like they'll just give me a job there. So I think through high school, I pretty much worked at the shop every summer, and then really. After I started social media and started doing like e-commerce and stuff, I really didn't have a big role there at all. Like I would kind of come help maintain some of the stuff I built, but for the most part, I was kind of not working there at all.
Yeah.
And then in the last probably 3 years, it's been like
because I remember you always saying like, no, I don't want to do that stuff with my dad. Like,
no,
and
I didn't. I think I always felt like it sounds cliche, but I think I was like, all right, I want to like prove that I can go make money on my own.
Yeah.
I didn't want. I mean, no matter what, I will always have. There will always be comments like, "Oh, daddy's money." I've accepted it. It's like whatever. Yeah. But I think for myself, I was like, I wanted to at least like, if that company died tomorrow, I want to know that I could go make money.
Yeah,
I think that's what Fourth Phase did for me. It was like I was able to make a couple $100,000 doing that without any input from him in a world that he knows nothing about. And now I'm like, all right, like I can do it. I'm cool coming to work for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
it's like it's always a thing of like millennials too. They always want to prove their parents that they could do what they because like I'm doing something that's completely different from them. He's doing something that's completely different from his family too. So it's like it's definitely a millennial thing. Like we want to prove our parents right because like even though we hated college, I mean we still went. He went for different reasons. I went for different reasons. But yeah, I think it's the same way. But like I think like you transitioning into the CEO like subconsciously is like your dad's overall game plan. Like
yeah,
what can I fucking do to tell? All right, let me tell him to build me this shit, and then slowly he's gonna be in the
kind of thing. I think he's
like,
smart. You have to be here every day. Ooh,
we should get Steve on here, bro. It'd be funny as fuck.
Steve, he wants to be on a podcast.
He's dry. He's dry, which is funny as fuck.
Me and him are very similar.
Yeah,
very similar.
I think he's even more dry because he's older, and I just like
wise.
I find that shit so funny, bro.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean that was kind of this is the most I've ever talked about. And typically, I don't bring it up just because I don't want to deal with the fucking. It's always. Like I had one video where I think it was brought up and someone like Googled it and was like, "Oh, his dad owns a company that did X amount,
I think
blah,
a
blah,
lot
blah."
of
And
people,
like,
a lot of people like they'll do their best to draw like these scenarios of what they think is real, but at the end of the day, it's like what we know is what we know. You know, we have our own skill sets and we've developed into something because now you have a fallback. If you ever didn't want to go into Benedettini cabinetry, and you like you said, you can always you can always scale Fourth Phase with like every ounce of your being because now there's AI, and it seems like you're kind of like the one man show. Like you can do it all at Fourth Phase, so you can train the people under you to bring it in.
Yeah, I mean I'm also the first though that like I 100% would not be in the situation I'm in right now without.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
the son of him. I'm the first to be like, oh, like I was able to go do that, but I was only able to go do that because I wasn't fucking living on the streets, working 2 jobs, having to go to McDonald's at 8 a.m. Like, I get like there are people that just genuinely can't get a fucking break, and I hate being like, oh, like if you work hard, you can. There's some shit that like it's just luck.
You can't control.
Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I had no help from my family at all, and I was able to go make no.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think it's directly. I'm not just like, oh, daddy, give me a check, and that's where I'm getting all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Has there ever been like a phase of you where you're like, I want to grow my YouTube? Because that could be a business of its own.
Yeah, and dude, even so, right now like I said, I've made in the last 8 months, I made 2 videos. I will probably make 3 videos this whole year.
You could review my Navigator.
Well, now I'm in a weird spot because like my Raptor R just showed up. I got the T-Rex. I haven't even filmed the T-Rex yet. So now I got to do a video on this while I have. So I'm gonna have 2. It's a whole thing.
Dude,
but
the Navigator will go viral for you. I'm
Navigator
telling
might be
you.
surprised what
That's
goes.
a black.
He asked me
label
like 5 years ago to review my Forerunner and never did.
Just run through shit.
That's the thing. People are like, oh, why don't you make video? And I'm like, dude, I have a friend of mine's like, take my McLaren. I have another friend that has a fucking Senna that's like, you can take it for a review. And I'm just like, I just don't.
Yeah.
It's almost like now that I know I can do it, I don't want to do it. Now it's like, oh, I know I can get the views. Like I know I got the YouTube, and I do that with a lot. I think it's probably my biggest fucking flaw in life. It's like once I know I can do something, I don't want to do it anymore.
You know those old school like Shelby GT500? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Eleanor.
No, it's not the Mustang.
Oh, you're talking about the Cobra.
The Shelby Cobra.
Yeah.
My neighbor has one.
Yeah, I did a video on one.
Dude,
You could review that one too.
I don't fit.
he takes it every weekend to drive it, and that thing is so fucking loud, like shakes our house.
No, I don't
Fucking
fit. They're not fun to
sick
drive,
shit. Yeah.
but they're sick
It looks
cars.
nice. It's sick.
So you don't have any plans to? It seems like
I would like to. I keep saying it, but like I think I'm starting to free up a little bit. I just moved into town, which is kind of giving me some more time to not worry about. Because for a while there was like my house was falling apart, so every fucking weekend I'm
like fixing.
I think now I'm like, all right, I think I would like to do like one video every 2 weeks. I would like to get my channel to 250,000 subs, which I think I can do because every time I make a video, I get like 3,000 to 4,000 subs.
the Navigator will bring you up.
Maybe that's my goal though. If I get it 250, I think I'll retire at 250.
Like
I'll
a
walk
6'3" white dude sitting in the third row of a Navigator. That'll. Bro,
I'll do a video
that'll
if
go
you'll wear
viral.
the little outfit and I can sit in the back. You can drive me around.
What
Wear
little
a
outfit?
tux.
Like
Oh, the
little,
fucking
little driver
driver.
outfit. Yeah.
Like
little
you're his
Asian driver.
chauffeur.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So
You got to talk with the accent. Too.
So it seems. Where do you want to go? So it seems like the YouTube has been a passion project. You have 4th phase, and then Benedettini Cabinetry. It seems like that's where you want to go. This kind of brings us to our 4th leg, which is like the overall retrospect and maybe some advice you'd like to share, and also goals. Like, do you have any goals with like career wise, just anything with what you're doing?
I mean, all my goals are cars. Like I would like to own a Pagani at some point in my life.
I mean,
like
that's a status level for sure.
Yeah, it's
like,
not even. I don't even
You
care
don't
about
have like
status.
monetary like checkpoints and goals. You
It's
just
just
have
cars.
cars.
Yeah, it's like whenever I can afford
your
a
way up.
$2 million weekend car, like I know I've made it. I think that's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
like. A lot of people are like, oh, I want a big beach house, and like, no, I want a car.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the next up for me is gonna be the family. I think that's now. I just turned 29. I feel like I always said I
shit.
wanted to be like ready to have a kid at 30, so I got 1 year to like figure that shit out.
Damn, we getting old.
You got a girl?
No,
Kinda.
it's complicated.
So you're trying to have kids, and then how many kids you want?
As many as I need to get a boy. I just want if the first try is a boy, I think I'm good. Now
you always
saying that
gotta
out
have
loud, I'm gonna have fucking 7 girls.
You always got to have 2. Always. You can't have an only child, bro. They get
You
weird.
gonna be Nick Cannon over here?
Only child are weird, bro. They're just like don't know how to share. They don't know how to share
Yeah,
shit.
I've noticed.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta-
I have,
you gotta
I
have
have friends
two.
that are only child.
Do you have a
That's kinda
sister?
weird.
Yeah, you definitely gotta have 2.
Yeah, I was the youngest though.
Well, you only have a
You're
sister.
middle, right?
I'm middle, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you don't want to be the oldest kid.
Yeah,
The
you
oldest
don't
kid
wanna-
gets shafted. Because like your
No,
parents don't
no,
really know how to raise
No,
you.
The middle,
like they don't
the
really.
middle child gets shafted.
Maybe the youngest is the
I get
baby. The
fucking-
youngest gets
Yeah,
all
I'm
the
the middle.
attention.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
I feel like the oldest has to deal with like the initial like they don't
Initial
really know what they're
bullshit.
doing. They probably haven't made a lot of money yet, so you're not really getting all the cool toys and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you want to be the middle or the last.
So this seems like you need to have 3 kids.
Like I said, I think I would like to have 2,
Okay.
but I'm also like with the dog. I know a dog and a kid aren't the same thing, but like I have Senna, which is my Doberman. And like with the apartment thing, I'm so fucking stressed out with that dog all the time that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to have a kid.
Is he like really antsy?
Yeah, she just doesn't like it there, but I'm like so in love with that dog that I'm just like, oh, you're not happy? Like, so I take her with me everywhere now. I'm like, and now I'm thinking like, damn, if I had a kid, like now I'm like, all right, what time can I get out of this podcast so I can go let her out and make sure she's okay? I'm like, once you have a kid, that's just, but I guess you're not alone. That would probably be the upside there.
Yeah.
Like, have someone else to help.
You
Well,
know,
it's also like with a kid, you can't just like leave alone at an apartment. right?
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that's
you
the
go drop them
difference.
off
It's like,
somewhere.
there's some people that do.
But I'm just like, I'm stressed out just with my dog. I can't imagine being like, all right, like Grayson's got piano recital tomorrow night. He's got soccer in the morning. Next day he's going to a friend's house. Like, how the fuck do you have time to do all that and still run a business?
Yeah, well, you make time. Your priorities shift, and then that's you just have to make more money so you can hire nannies.
That's the other thing. Like, bro, a kid's gonna be $30,000 a year on like
It's a
cheap
$1 million.
side.
It's $1 million investment.
I would say my kids cost more than $30,000 a year, but
Each kid?
yeah,
that's terrifying to me, man. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's-
shit.
I
If
think
you're making
over the
$200,000,
course
you have
of
2 kids.
I think over the course of 18 years, it's like $1 million, something like that.
probably more than that.
Probably
for my
more.
kids.
Yeah.
Well, now with inflation, it's probably 2 to 3 million.
Shit. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I don't know how you're gonna.
Yeah.
That's rough. You
So-
can be making $200,000 a year single and live like a king. $200,000 with 2 kids, like you're fucked.
Yeah.
Good luck. Got the
you know,
minivan.
like I always wanted to, when I was younger, I always wanted to like be single like for as long as I could and just have all the nice cars because I would just have a small ass apartment, wouldn't give a fuck.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. So like, obviously shit has shifted
Yeah.
to 180, but like your priorities shift, man. You achieve a different level of happiness and you obviously know that. But with the business side of your goals, aside from like the car stuff, like do you have it in you to say like, is there a part of you that says I want to be the CEO of Ben and Titini Cabinetry?
So with that business is so like relationship focused and stuff, and there's shit that I will never know. Like I can run the tech side of it. I can tell you how I can build you a cabinet with a CNC machine by myself, no problem. I cannot go fucking grab the saw and cut shit up and tell you this angle needs to be a 45 and that's gonna make this better. There's also it's like all of these big builders and stuff are so family owned and like relationship wise that they probably wouldn't even want. Like the minute that my dad retired, they'd probably be like, nah, we're gonna switch to someone else because it's all about. So I don't think that'll ever be the case. I think more than likely what happens is like I can run it from a production side of it and
Like the CTO.
which is basically what I'm doing right now. I think technically right now I am the CTO.
Yeah.
Even the operations side, I think I can have a bigger hand in, and then I think he'll always be, which is he doesn't really want to retire. He wants to like go travel and shit, but he always wants to be the face of the.
That's awesome.
I think realistically, I'll just work with him for a couple of years, and then we'll figure something else out.
I think when you own a business like that and you build it and scale it to the level of success that it is, like it's hard as the owner and CEO to just
Sell it,
retire, or step back.
Yeah,
So
and I
it
think
acquired,
that's
get it
I think that's just like the entrepreneurial thing too, right? Like it's like this is your life. You put so much into it. Like if you're doing fine and you're healthy, and it's like what's the point of retiring whenever you can just.
I mean, he's got a good group of guys around him now that they can kind of handle a lot of it and help me. So, and then I mean, there's also the YouTube side of it. I have a mental breakdown every fucking 2 weeks where I'm just like I have friends that are getting paid $10,000 to eat mac and cheese on camera. I'm bullshitting you. Fucking someone that we know was paid $10,000 by Stofers to eat mac and cheese on camera for 30 seconds.
The fucking max.
So I was pissed because like my entire life, all I've wanted to do is eat mac and
confirm or
cheese. And he's getting paid to eat fucking mac and cheese. So I'd say every other week, like when I have 20 people calling me, I'm getting up at fucking 6 a.m., some shit's going wrong, everyone's blaming me for it. I'm like, bro, fuck all of this. I'm just going to go make YouTube videos because there's money in YouTube. You can make some serious fucking money in YouTube.
I think like if YouTube knew your true side, it would be actually very funny.
Oh, I've always thought about like hiring somebody to just follow me around and like turn into a vlog channel where it's just, because I do some stupid shit on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like people always say like, oh, just film like what we normally do because I feel like we get to do some cool shit.
Yeah, I tried to hire Shadow and we just fired him. So
you gotta do random shit though.
yeah, well, it's hard too. Like when you're busy, like for instance, like you're coding all the time, like it's impossible to like, oh, let me spend 4 hours doing this type of shit because then that's 4 hours you could have put towards your main scope of work. But
I always think that social media is going to die. I think that's my underlying, like, that's why I've never really been like, I'm going to go be a YouTuber. Because I'm like, my luck, I'm the kind of guy that like, everyone's like, oh, fucking pump Tesla. And the minute I put money into Tesla, it's dead.
I feel like that's me with stocks too.
Yeah, stocks.
Same.
If I invest,
100%.
if I say I'm buying something, get the fuck out the day I get in.
Yeah,
It's going
I
wrong.
think I'm the same way. Like I'm not good with that.
With social media, that's always in the back of my head is like the day that I'm like, all right, I'm a YouTuber now, I'm going to hire a videographer, I make 2 videos a week, my channel's going to get no fucking views. And like that'll be the day that my channel dies. And then I'll just be like, fuck, I quit my job, I piss everybody off.
Fucking nuked.
I'm just like, that's always in the back. That's why I've never been like, I'm going to do it as a living. I like YouTube as a hobby because now if I get 10,000 views on a video, I'm not mad about it. I'm like, oh, it's okay.
So would you say like software developing and stuff is a passion of yours?
Yeah.
Are you very
No, I enjoy doing it. Yeah, no, I'm always like leveling up in that world. Like I'll watch tutorials. Even now I've been doing it now for 15 years professionally, and even now I'm still like, all right, how do I do the next thing, or what's the next piece of technology coming out, or whatever.
So what is some like advice you would like to share, like over the course of like your careers, social media in general? Because I mean, you've built a great social media following, you know, through the years, like without effort, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's always a wild thing for me is like I post the stupidest shit on my stories and stuff, and they get like 15,000 views. I'm just like, where are these people coming from? Like, I don't post anything. I'll just put like a random fucking like Biden fell down some stairs and I'll like repost it. It's like 15,000 views. I'm like, all right, cool. What was the question?
What was that advice? What's some advice you would share?
I would say I don't force it. I would say like I had a passion to do videos, and that's why I got into social media. I think a lot of people now just look at like that's the easy way in. Like, oh, that girl, or same with OnlyFans and shit. It's like that girl showed her butthole and she made $400,000 last year. I'll show, and it's like no, like you don't have to. We were at the gym. I'm actually working on the gym. And this dude came up to us and he's like, I hate being on camera. I'm really nervous. I don't like the way I look on camera, and I don't really know how to edit videos. Like, can you like what would you give me advice to like be better at YouTube? And I'm just like, I don't want to be an asshole, but like maybe don't do YouTube. Like if I hate blood and I'm scared of fucking internals, I'm not gonna be like, how do I become a doctor? Like that's not what it's crazy to me now. Like kids in their head are like, we have to be social media. Like I have to grow up to be a social media influencer.
One of the girls, a girl that I follow, we've been friends for a while. She was like posting on her story, I have this major fucking announcement. And I knew what it was. She was like putting a countdown timer and everything, and then boom, OnlyFans. So it's like, yeah, I agree with you, man. Like people's way out. I think it's just because of the fitness industry, because of what we're surrounded by.
You see it.
It's not just the fitness industry. It's social media.
It's everything.
It's what kids are growing up seeing now.
Yeah.
So they're seeing Twitch, they're seeing YouTube, they're seeing all this stuff, and they're constantly consuming it. And they think like, oh, this is what I want to be, or this is what I need.
Or it's monetary for a lot of people. It's people look at Mr. Beast. It doesn't look like he's doing anything all fucking day. It looks like he's fucking around 24/7. He's got the cars. He's got that. I want to do that. Why do I want to go work at fucking Dell selling computers for $80,000 a year when I can go film me and my friends fucking around for $1 million a year? It's just everyone has that in their head now that like they want to be able to. That's the other thing where I'm like, we're gonna go down a different path. Yeah. But the whole like, I have to be my own boss. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You don't. That's so annoying. It's like, I have to be my own boss. Yeah. Everyone has to be a contractor. Everyone has to have their own company. Yeah. Everyone has to put LLC in their fucking bio. It's like just
entrepreneur.
Yeah. It's like just live your life, and like there's nothing wrong with working for somebody else. It's like not everyone's supposed to be a fucking CEO. It's just the.
I think it's more the younger generation that has that mindset, right?
Yeah. It's like if I'm 14 and I don't have a fucking my own LLC, I'm failing in life. It's like, bro, when I was 14, I was like blowing up ant piles with fucking bottle rockets and shit.
With like, fucking Axe bottles and a lighter.
Yeah, I'm like, nowadays these 14-year-old kids are like, oh, follow my master class. I'm doing this. And then it's like, dude, go outside and play or something.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
And I think like kids nowadays, because of the hustle culture that's like so trending, they forget what it means to just enjoy something just to fucking enjoy it. Like everything has to be like, I'm playing Diablo 2. How can I make money off playing Diablo 2?
I told Max. Max was like, oh, bro, you're playing video games, you're not monetizing. I'm like, no, I'm playing video games because it's the one thing that I want to fucking do when I relax. I don't want to turn that into a job.
I think that's like the bad thing now is like everybody just forgets to just enjoy life. Like you don't have to monetize fucking everything you do. But that's just the way it is in life. So, okay.
What about... I was just gonna say, like, what? So since you kind of you're self-taught in the sense of you taught yourself how to develop and do all the software stuff. I guess what are some resources that you use to do that, or like if somebody
100% YouTube.
Like if I wanted YouTube the whole way.
Yeah. So if we're talking strictly about software development.
Yeah.
I mean, first thing, which again, I think a lot of people similar to social media, a lot of people want to get into coding because they make money. They'll see somebody making $400,000 a year at Amazon and they're like, I want to do that. They don't actually have any desire to do it. And I can tell you right now, if you go into it that way, you're going to fucking hate it and you'll be done in a year, you'll be burnt out.
Yeah.
So you have to at least be somewhat, at least either like computers and like code or engineer side of it. I think that's why you were like, oh, there's a huge disconnect between the cars and the tech. I'm like, no, there's not. Like, I think I'm fascinated with how shit works. So I love engines and that side of it, and I love code and that side of it, and it all comes together.
Yeah.
if you fall into that category, then it just turns into like, what do you want to do? Because in the coding world, there's so, I mean, you could be a database analyst and never actually write any code on a device. You can be an Android developer, you can be a Swift with iOS, you can do server side, you can do front end. I mean, there's so many different aspects.
Network.
That's a good point.
I think you decide, I mean, I have friends that are cybersecurity. I have friends that are infrastructure, where all they do all day is decide what level of server we're going to sell to this company, and then they're going to run this code on it. They don't even write code. They just set up the servers, and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Same with cybersecurity. I have friends that just sell cybersecurity that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and they don't know any code.
Yeah.
But they're still in the development world. So I think first thing is decide if you're into it, what side of it are you into? What do you want to do? You can't just say, I want to learn to code. You kind of need to decide what you want to do. Do you want to do e-commerce websites? Or once you decide that, YouTube. There's a beginner's basics to X.
Right. What?
There will always be videos to kind of just, I think a lot of people are just scared to try it.
Yeah.
It's like, you have a laptop, you're not going to break anything. Like, just try it. Like,
What's crazy
stand
is
up
like
and
I
go.
think you can pretty much learn anything on YouTube now.
100%. Yeah.
Like
Coding's one of the very few things. I mean, same with, I guess, YouTube, but coding's one of the very few things where like you can create anything with just your laptop out of nothing. Like if you said, hey, I want to build a house, you still got to go buy all the lumber. You still got to fucking get the contractors and all that shit.
Yeah.
Coding, like you could create the next $1 billion app, or you could create literal piece of shit just writing code. It's the same amount of time you're putting into it. It's just your laptop.
Wow.
Like it's one of the very few things where like if you have $1,000 laptop, like you can make as much money as you want without having to go buy anything else. You don't have to go get resources. Like you just need to have a laptop and the will to learn it.
Yeah.
Is it? Would you say it's more kind of like mathematical, or
How
would you describe it?
Man. I would say I don't use any math, honestly. Like, because I mean, it's like a calculator, right? It's like if you know what to feed into it, you don't have to do anything. It's just, no, I mean, honestly, it's more like learning a second language. Which I suck at
that's right.
But like, I mean, once you learn one language pretty well, they're all just different
Variations.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as like if you learn Latin, it's gonna be really easy to pick up Spanish or whatever. It's like same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's like an engineering mindset. Like if you're a person that likes to learn how shit comes together, you'll kill it. But I have people that have come to me. They're like, I hate technology. I don't understand. I can barely fucking set up my email address. How do I learn to code? And it's like, well, don't. Like you shouldn't learn how to code.
You
It's
shouldn't
not
learn
for
how to
you.
code. Yeah.
I think that's the key point, right? Is like kind of find what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and kind of follow that path.
Well, then you won't feel like you're working. I mean, you guys setting up a
Right.
relay. I'm sure you don't like come here every day like, fuck, it's another day.
Yeah.
Like you're like excited to get here and fucking grow this thing. It's like if you have that excitement, you'll do well with anything you do.
Yeah. No, we love.
But if you're miserable and you're like fucking hate this, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
life's too short, dude.
I don't
Yeah,
think
we
we'd be
try
where
to-
we are if we were miserable.
Yeah, with everything we do, we just try to have fun with it, and just like,
Well, it's your passion though, right? Like it's something you want to do.
yeah.
Or if I was like, Daniel, tomorrow you're gonna go pack orders in the fucking Amazon warehouse for 12 hours, like you're probably not that stoked to go in the morning.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Don't get me wrong, packing orders in warehouses is not the fun.
Well, when it's your warehouse, it's a little bit more fun.
Different when
Yeah.
you own it for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, and we're building a company with your best friend. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the
I think that's the biggest thing is like do something you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within reason though. You can't be like, I want to be a social media influencer, so I'm not gonna do anything else until then. Like, no, you gotta fucking get your feet wet a little bit.
ASMR.
I can't stand that shit. Bro, the number of times like videographers at Alpha Land will come up to me like, all right, like I'm gonna get into car videos, like can I film a video for you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they'll text me like a $4,000 proposal. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying you to fucking like if you want to learn to do car videos, like
$4,000 to film a video? Who the fuck is that?
literally
Matt
had-
Como?
No, but there's been times, I mean, you don't remember, I'm not going to call anyone out, but there was a time where like someone was like, hey, I'm going to shoot a couple photos for Heidi outside of the gym. And then they sent Heidi like a $2,000 invoice for like 5 photos. And it was like, what are you doing?
You can tell me off camera.
Yeah. But like that shit happens all the time where I'm like, I think it's this new mentality of like, I can do nothing for free. And everything is, and like I get that you shouldn't be giving your services out for free, but you also got to get good at what you're doing.
Yeah, in the
You gotta get
beginning,
your
you have
name
to
out
do a
there a
lot
little
of
bit.
shit for free. So in the end, you don't have to.
I think
that's
that's
just the point.
The current culture is telling everyone on Instagram, don't do that. Like you're worth more than that. You can do this. It's like I have people all the time. Like I'm learning graphic design. I'll design you a logo for $1,500. It's like no.
I
Like
can go to Fiverr and get it for $10.
yeah, I'm like, how about you do it for free? And if I like it, I'll give you a shout out, and then maybe you can find something. Like I'm not paying you to learn to do something. Like I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
not.
fucking-
But then everyone on social media, you got Grant Cardone telling everybody like you're worth millions of dollars and you can never take it. It's like, dude, there's a level to this. There's a fucking median.
Yeah, that
there's-
guy's,
level.
that
there's
guy's
an
about to get
understanding
indicted.
of-
That dude's about to get indicted, bro.
And that's like sales, right? Like sometimes you have to discount your product a little bit just to get it in front of somebody or in their face. And
Yeah,
then
most
These kids are getting preached to all day by these like business guys that are just like, you can go charge $20,000 for that project. You got to be persistent. It's like, no, you can't. No one's paying you $20,000 for this fucking shitty logo.
you can just see Joe's disdain for social
No, I love it.
I really hate it, dude.
No, we love the honesty because that's
Yeah.
how we are too. But.
So yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up. We like to end on one final question, which maybe you have heard this throughout your life, or when you did want to like go start coding and teach yourself. Like, has anybody ever told you don't have what it takes?
Yeah, I mean, even especially in like YouTube, there were a lot of comments on the first couple of videos, like fucking trash video. This is stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. That happens. I mean, even to this day, if I make a video and I say this Mercedes is cool and someone doesn't like Mercedes, like, fuck you and fuck this video. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, same on the coding. Yeah, I've had clients tell me this work's not good enough or you're not good enough. I mean, it's just part of it. I think I always take it like, all right, like I'll get better. Like let me level up. I think the only people ever told me I couldn't was teachers. High school. I was a fucking little asshole. I don't even blame them. Like, I was a dickhead. I was a kid that was like fucking spitballs and like showing up late to class and on my phone all day. So, yeah, I think I had quite a few teachers that were just like, yeah, you're not going to amount to much.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn.
Well,
Fucking helicopter to my
20-year
reunion.
Yeah, exactly. That would be kind of.
Fuck y'all.
I think that's everybody's response, right? Is just prove them wrong.
Yeah. It was always like a
definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Joe. Well, that brings us across the finish line, marking the end of the episode. Thank you for joining us today, helping our audience grow their knowledge in the world of business, social media. Specifically for you, advice in the coding world, or maybe how to jumpstart and teach yourself how to code.
Yeah.
But yeah, great advice. Great. I know we went on a little bit of.
It's funny.
We went on a lot of tangents.
We should do one that's just like.
I think that was what.
Chill.
Political.
We should do a lot of political shit because I like that shit.
Yeah, y'all can do that.
Yeah.
Derek's gonna take myself out of that one.
Thank you to the listeners at home for tuning in. Together, we will sprint towards a purpose-driven future, celebrating the power of business, entrepreneurship, and the transformative impact that it can create.